Hey, good morning, disciples. How y'all doing out there? It's February 2nd, 2026. I'm your host, BigAddison, and thank you for joining me on today's Goddamn the Devil and Coffee with Big Addison. So here we go. I got my Goddamn the Devil coffee cup full of my favorite brew. And I'm just kind of waiting for a second. You all pick up your coffee and join me. You ready? Here we go. God damn the devil and his cohorts to hell, death, and destruction in the lake of fire. In the name of Jesus, the Christ. Amen. All right. Well, we've uh we've blown the battle horn. We're out, we're ready. Let's start this week. And let's get to doing some discipling, guys. So, anyway, quite a weekend, lots of chatter. Let's see, I got banned out of one religious group. They didn't like my style. And, the things that we talk about here are so uh, opposite, so completely different than what mainstream Christianity is believing or ever used to hearing. And, you know, it just rocks the boat. And people, it's the same old thing. If they can't identify, if they can't understand, if it doesn't agree with their philosophy and what they've been saying for all their life and all their Christian years and all their preaching and all their believing, blah blah blah. Well, just like the Pharisees that killed Jesus for the same thing because they didn't like what he was saying about what they were believing in. Uh, Christ said, "What they'll do to me, they're going to do to you." So, in today's world, at least in the United States, we don't get killed very often. Although it happens, and it's like, that kind of thing is accelerating. But um, that's the price. You just got to deal with it. So here we go. Let's get on to today's topics. First of all, let's share the screen here with us. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. All right. So actually, I want to start at the top. You can see here we're live, and got a couple notifications here. We are growing. We're still kind of hitting a member a day coming in, which is great. Let's see here. Let's go take a look at our members. We say hello to our most newest member, Musima Richard. Hey, brother. Good morning. Glad to have you here. He just joined this morning and he already popped in and said hi on the board. So, looking forward to this guy being a participator. What else we have? We got Gabriel Roth. Good morning, Gabe. Marshall Clayton joined in over the weekend. And no, Enoch's been with us for a few days, and he's an up and comer. This is our mathematician, and so he's very linear, very thoughtful, and I look forward to his participation too. So welcome to all our new members. We'll go back to the community here. Got a couple other things I want to show you, and that is if you go to the about page, you will see. I like to open it big, but you'll see we have another new video here on the about. Let me play it for you. Remember, these things can all be shared. Go to YouTube, pick up the links. All right, here we go. Let's see this one.
Is your Christian life more routine than real? This school community is here to change that. If you want a vibrant Christian life where you can feel proud of yourself for spreading the good news of Jesus Christ, our community is created for that. In there, you can find a free and practical 5-week guided journey which is completed in levels. By completing the previous level, you get access to the next one. We have also included 4 prime courses that tell you everything you need to know regarding Christianity. Take matters into your own hands. See you inside.
All right. So that was pretty cool, right? Let me come back over here and talk to you guys. Bink. Hey. All right. So, new video there to show you also. What do I got here? I got some new signs. It's a sign. I just thought I might have to be ready to explain things here and there. And sometimes the language I use can be a little salty. I don't think I've slipped yet. It's going to happen because, I cuss like a sailor. Mwah. And of course, you all think I'm swearing when I say goddamn, and of course, I'm not. Hopefully, you've all seen the explanation for that. But at any rate, first I want to address my hat because I just know it just drives some people crazy. But I just want you to know the sign. Ooh, is that backwards? Boy, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Jesus MAGA, Jesus make all great again. Yeah, see, the video is mirrored. So I guess signs are going to be hard to use. Isn't that interesting? I guess I'll have to make them backwards. That's what I'll do. I'm going to have to get back to that. Well, all I can say is, and I ain't kidding. Now, why did that one seem to be the right way? There's also the asshole. I call all people assholes. And just so you know what I'm saying, even if it's backwards, what if I do this? Can you see through it? No. All right. And then the last one is I'll say bullspit. Bullspit is what I'm saying. Oh, these signs are funny. I'm gonna have to redo that. All right. So those are my signs. We're gonna have to get back to that. I'm gonna have to redo those. They're not quite as funny when they're backwards. All right. What else? Oh. This is good. I got to go back over. Excuse me. I got to go back over and share the screen again with the disciple machine. Let me get back over here. We can get out of that. And we can go back to the community. Excuse me again. And let's go to the classroom. Got a new course in here. We've another prime course. The last days. So we're making the move to include talking about the last days here. Why? Because we're living in them. And because these are the days that you are going to be discipling in. And if you want to understand the days that we're living in regards to Bible prophecy, well, the last days is the place to start. So let's go take a look over here at the course right quick. The introduction gives you a short video on what the series is going to be about. I go in here and describe what's upcoming, including the 3 videos that you see here in the link well. And this is where you're going to start over here on the last days part 1 introduction. Each one has a lot of information there for you. But the thing is that what this is, well, if I go back, if I go back to the introduction. So I put a note up here at the top, and this is something I want you all to really understand. And that is that the Last Days collection is an ongoing series started in 2010 by Pastor COHORTS. It's now 500 parts long. It's either just almost 500 or he's gone over 500. But he's right there. And, it's a big, giant archive of information that's never been gathered in this kind of context or, volume ever before in the history of the Bible. And I give you a link here to click to go to the entire list. But what we're doing here is we're starting you out on the very first 3 videos in the archive. And I've been using these first three as kind of the starter package to introduce people to this topic for many years now, and I've done it with great success. People either, you know, bounce right out or they, get hooked. So hopefully you'll be on the get hooked people. You got the three videos here to go through. The first one tells you about, you know, Joe's setting up the series. This was the very first episode back now 16 years ago, something like that. And then the next one is about the end time doctrinal myths that exist out there today and have been around for about 250 to 300 years, namely the pre tribulation rapture theory, which is all completely bunk. All right, so we're going to get exposed to where that started, and it's going to just surprise the heck out of you, I promise. It's the one thing you never hear about in all the teaching about the last days, is where all that started. And then the last one is going to be your first video that is going to expose you to uh, Joe's incredible teaching style. All right. Joe doesn't teach, and the reason why I am with him and was with his mentor and my mentor before him, Joe and I go back over 40 years. We were in the same TV ministry together, working, and um, so so the last days here. What was I saying? So this part three. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the part three is to introduce you to how Joe teaches, and you're going to probably see for the first time the Bible taught, what we say, straight, cut straight. Um, we don't operate on beliefs, and I say we. I shouldn't. I take no credit. Joe's the teacher, and I am just a pointer of the way to where people can hear the good news and all these other crazy, interesting topics that support the whole Bible story. So, the times of the Gentiles, you're going to see facts based on Bible history, secular history, timelines, math. The way Joe teaches is it's not subjective, it's not opinion. If it is, he'll say it. Otherwise, it's just the Bible cut straight. Joe likes to call himself a Bible detective, and boy, he sure is. I thought our mentor was the greatest Bible teacher that ever existed, and I think he was at the time. But Joe, by God, now wears that mantle as far as I'm concerned. All righty, so let's get out of here. Let me get back over to you guys. Wanted to show you that. Okay, I'm back. So what else do we got? It's 4:13 my time, so I got some time left. So I wanted to talk a little bit about flying saucers. So it's a long story, and there's many other stories that kind of need to be told first, but I'm just going to pop right in here and tell you a story about Dr. Jim Hurtak, J.J. Hurtak, Jim James Hurtak. If you go online right now to Google and you Google Jim Hurtak, Hurtak, you will find him right away. So Jim Hurtak, flash forward now. I met him, flashback. I met Jim approximately 1978, between 78 79, somewhere right in there. My brother Randy, my older brother Randy, had become associated with Dr. Hurtak. And right about the same time, I was becoming associated with Dr. Jane Scott. And so my brother had invited me and a friend of mine down to our, back in the good old days, we had a beach house down in Laguna, California, and Hertac was coming to town, and Randy wanted uh, me to meet him, and we just had this little meeting between me and Hertac and Randy and one of Randy's friends and one of my friends. A very small gathering. I was 18 years oldish, and Hertac went on to present um, a lot of evidence about UFOs. And I'm not talking stuff he would just believed in. I'm talking at a briefcase he opened and had material items. So by the time I was done listening to Jim, I was absolutely convinced that UFOs and aliens exist. I'd had previous encounters with UFOs growing up as a child. Two times I saw something up in the sky. So I wasn't, adverse to the thought. But at any rate, I met Jim, and he clued me in on all the alien activity out there. So the long and short of it is this: there's a problem with the whole alien theory when it comes to Bible prophecy and the whole Bible story. And I had this conflict back in those days because I was brand new to Dr. Scott's way of teaching, and I was, really digging it. And now brand new to seeing things that I'd never seen before or never heard about, or things I couldn't deny because I'm looking at the evidence um, about aliens, which again is, how do you square the two? How do you square the Bible story that doesn't have aliens landing and visiting with the alien story, which of course rules out the Bible, because the Bible says that the earth is 6,000 years old. The creation is 6,000 years old. And of course, the whole alien thing is based on, the universe being billions of years old, and other life forms that were created or made or whatever evolved, you know, millions of years ago, billions of years ago, have advanced so much, and now they fly around and they can visit us, and we can't detect them, see them, or whatever. Right? That's kind of the conflict. Um, the Bible needed to add, amongst all the prophecy and revelatory information it gave us, that, by the way, don't be surprised when a big old spaceship comes out of the sky, lands, and these little gray people come out of it. Yeah, that needed to be included if it was going to happen. So, because if it does happen, it just throws out the Bible. So, I had this conflict. I had to square the two paths and which way I was going to go. Well, it took me a while to square it, I'll tell you that. But I knew from the get go that, the God, Jesus, Christian path was the way to go. And my brother, who, raised the same way I was, also very, very open to, I mean, he was 4 years older than I was. He'd already experimented. He'd gone to Buddhists. He'd gone to Hare Krishnas there in Laguna. He'd gone and checked out these different things. I hadn't done anything like that yet. I was still, too young for that. And then he met Hertac, and that kind of changed his trajectory in life. And he went that way. He never, I mean, he was a Christian as well. I say was. Randy died in 2021. COVID took him. At any rate, so he was a Christian too, and he never left the Christian faith. He just included this whole other avenue and went with it. And so he and Jim Hurtak, he was with Jim Hurtak for the same kind of while I was with Dr. Scott, well over 30 years, and was Hurtak's kind of right hand man and protege all those years. So it was kind of fun throughout, all those years that we, had this kind of alignment, being brothers. Both had decided to go to work for two different high profile people. Hurtak, by the way, was, for example, he was the guy brought in to consult on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's one of the world's leading experts in ufology. Okay. But he's also has a whole kind of religious twist to the whole thing that he has developed. He has books on the whole subject. He's a PhD from either Stanford or Berkeley, I believe. And he's still going strong. God love him. I've met him, of course, several times throughout the years, and just always enjoy our conversations. And he's always, respects where I'm coming from, and I've always respected where he's coming from. But get back to squaring. I got to get going here. It's done right quick. Squaring the two. Are there UFOs and aliens? And the answer is absolutely. The squaring part is that they're not from outer space. They are not a life form that we have not been told about in the Bible. And I know you all want to hear about that, but I'm just going to give you a hint. I published a magazine back in the early 90s called The Foreign Times, Global Views. And gosh, I wish I should have had a copy with me here, Dan. But I wrote way back then in 1990, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, somewhere there in this about my theory. And what I wrote back then, and I'm not taking any credit, just the fact is that I wrote what is now being widely accepted as a possible argument in the Christian world, and that is that aliens are one form of a fallen angel, demon. Those gray aliens that you see with the big almond eyes, well, I contend that big gray alien is what a burned out, lost its light angel looks like. And if you know the story about Lucifer falling from heaven, 1/3 of all the angels that occupy heaven went with him. They decided to side up with Lucifer. And so when they all fell, because when Lucifer was kicked out, they were too. I'm just guessing. This is all just opinion. I don't know, speculation. But an answer has to be there. I'm just guessing they lost their light when they fell. And so I think that those gray, almond-eyed aliens are, in fact, fallen angels that have lost their light. And, there are several kinds of angels. That means there are several kinds of angels that fell as well. And the almond-eyed angels are the ones that came from heaven. There are other demons that were created here on earth that still exist too. And all kinds of different kinds of angels, demons, whatnot. So the almond-eyed, I believe, are the ones who fell when Lucifer fell also. Okay. So much for aliens today. We'll talk about that more. These are early days. I'm not even hardly being looked at, but people are starting to watch, which is cool. I think I'm getting better at this. I hope so. But I got to sign off. We're here 25 minutes, and I like to try to keep it there because, it's hard to get people's attention and hold it for very long. People are very busy. And I appreciate anybody who joins and watches and leaves comments. And hopefully you'll be sharing these videos along with the other tools that we're providing to help you do your discipling. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful day. God bless all of you. And we'll catch you on the flip side. All right. God bless everybody.